Welcome to Chasing Spirits, where we explore the strange, the supernatural, and the unexplained. I'm your host, Reed, with my co-host, Ethan.
Hello. I have to apologize to everyone, Reed,
Why?
because last week I did the tech, but it's actually techie. It
Oh,
was a big fail. I was sad about it.
oh, it's techie. Okay.
I mispronounced it, but we're good now.
We're back. I've kept this one a secret from you. You get
Give me a
pretty.
hint.
You want a hint? You
Yeah.
won't guess this.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm starting a new thing. It's gonna
Okay.
be a little different than what we normally do.
All right. I'm liking it.
We normally do like a creature of some sort. It's pretty much like a creature we follow most of the time.
You're just gonna be telling me the whole movie Alien.
I just explained the plot. No, so I have a bunch of questions that I don't know about that I would like answered. So I am researching them, uh, like one per episode. I'm not gonna do it every week, but I have a list of like questions, like a what is, and then a phenomenon or whatever, something like that, or like I have some that I'll do for like ghosts and stuff. I have some questions about that stuff, just like certain things that are like a part of it. So I don't think I've done an alien episode at all.
I think this would be the first one you've done.
Yep. So this has been in the news lately, so I figured it would be cool, which we'll get into what was in the news towards the end, which kind of sparked this whole thing. We talked about this a little bit in your alien episode, one of them. But I just wanted to kind of build back into it. So,
Okay.
welcome to Chasing Spirits. This episode is what is astral projection?
Oh, we did talk about this. Why did we
We
talk about
did
this?
because they were kind of in like an astral projection state in the first. What was that first
Oh, the
alien?
Andreasen affair, right?
Yes, remember they kind of got put in that state where they could see their body.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
that's why we kind of talked about it. I didn't know at the time. I'm sure if we re-listen to the episode, I'm like, what the heck is that, right? But it was
Hmm.
recently in the news, which I'm gonna save for last. Just it's really cool. I don't know. It's very
Okay.
interesting. I'm curious to see what you think about it because scientists are split on it. A lot of people don't believe in it, but there's a lot of people and things that can't be explained that have happened with astral projection. I don't have too many of those examples of what can't be explained. There's definitely a lot. I kind of went more into the informational side, but are you ready?
I'm actually excited for this. This is gonna be nice.
All right. So I'm going to lay this out first. So, astral projection, also known as an out of body experience, which I'll be saying OBE, which you might have heard before, is the practice of separating the astral body or consciousness from the physical body, allowing it to travel independently in the non physical realm. This experience is often described as an altered state of consciousness where a person perceives their surroundings from a vantage point outside of their body. People who report astral projection often claim to feel as if they are floating above their physical form or journeying to distant locations, either real or imaginary. Astral projection can be self induced through techniques like meditation, lucid dreaming, or deep relaxation, though some individuals claim to experience it spontaneously during sleep or in moments of extreme stress. So that's kind of like the main definition of what it is. I know me and you have definitely talked about not on the pod, but outside we've talked about like lucid dreaming and stuff like that. I know you had an interest a long time ago. Did you ever get it to work?
Uh, Not from like doing the actual technique of doing it, where I just think it's like the red ball.
Mm-hmm.
Say like focus on like a red ball and then go to sleep. No, that never actually worked. But I did have it happen once, just randomly in a
On
dream, and
its
I
own?
literally, yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to get into it? It's kind of funny. I can tell you the dream.
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
So my sister was in it, so that was already kind of like, all right, I know it's a dream for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the cafeteria at our elementary school, and I remember literally being able to fly, and like I
What?
can kind of like generate more school as I flew through the school, if that makes
So
sense.
you were aware you were in a dream,
Yeah,
and you
I
were
like I
just
remember
like
being like, I want to
consciously.
fly right now.
Wow.
That's the only time that's ever happened, and it's just because I knew like it had to have been a dream.
I'm eventually gonna try again. I tried for a while. It's tough. Even getting into the state because you have to like wake yourself up without looking at a screen at a certain time and then run through all
Right.
your senses, or like there's some crazy techniques that people do. I've tried it before, but my problem is I don't remember dreams at all. So I know that's like the first step is you have to be able to remember your dreams, or else it won't work. Maybe you will lucid dream, but you won't be able to remember it when you wake up.
You don't remember any of them all? Like just
Like
black?
very rare. It's very rare for me to remember my dreams. I know there's
When
some
you
people
start
that literally
having
every
them?
night wake up and they're like, okay, I had these 10 dreams. My brain
Right.
just doesn't keep it for whatever reason.
Yeah, when you get like a dream, like one that you have soon, you should definitely write it down in a book. I
Yeah,
feel like I
that's
always
what
write mine
they
down in
said. They
notes
said to
and
get
I
like a
start remembering
dream
more.
journal.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Like
Exactly.
start writing it down and then you'll remember 'em more or something. Cause yeah, there are times like right when I wake up, I do remember some, but it's gone within like right when I like as I get up, it's just gone. So I bet you I could do that. Sometimes I'm like, do I want to mess with that though?
What do you mean?
Like risking having like bad dreams
Yeah,
like
I
and
guess, but I
remembering
feel like
those.
the off chance of having nightmares is kind of like
That's true. I guess I would know. Because there's some people that like have a lot of those,
right, reoccurring ones, but
and you
I don't
pretty
know.
much remember those every time, or at least you
I
know how you
have
feel when you wake up.
I probably have so many juicy dreams in my notes.
Oh, you do? Oh, you write yours down.
Once in a while, like if I have like a crazy one that's just like absolutely abstract, I'll
Oh,
write
I
it down in
gotta
my
do it.
notes so I remember it. I
That's
could probably
cool.
pull up a really funny one outside of the pod, or honestly, I can even pull them out. Let me see if I
Really,
can find one
go
real quick.
for it. I'll get back into it after this.
I have a log from 2018, and it says me and Dustin had matching pocket rockets behind Fiesta. He upgraded his tires and seat for $50. Of course, Dustin would do that. And then I drove mine all around the building and eventually went through McDonald's where I was joking about ordering through the drive-through with my bike. You know what pocket rockets are, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the little motorcycles. That was my dream in 2018.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry for derailing that one a little bit.
Oh, that's all right. All right, I'll jump back in. Throughout history, various cultures have incorporated the concept of astral projection into their spiritual and metaphysical traditions. It's often viewed as a way to explore higher dimensions of consciousness, gain insight, or even interact with otherworldly beings. While many consider it a purely subjective phenomenon, others believe astral projection can facilitate genuine exploration of realms beyond the physical world. The scientific community remains divided on the matter, with some researchers suggesting that OBEs are merely a form of lucid dreaming or brain based phenomena, while others entertain the possibility that they could be related to quantum consciousness or other uncharted aspects of human perception. So, what do you think it is? Like, I'll give you a lot more information as we go, but do you believe in this? Do you believe in like psychics and that stuff? Because it kind of goes hand in hand. A lot of stuff I'm going to get into is kind of like us versus the Soviet Union. We were both looking into a lot of this stuff for like psychics that could read minds, trying to get into people's heads, and trying to like astral project to gain info on a war.
Really? Okay, I did
Yes.
not know about the Soviet Union part of this.
Yeah, it's
I had no
insane.
idea about that. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know though. It's so hard to justify like what astral projection actually is. Because my problem is, I don't know, like the psychics having the ability to do that. Wouldn't that also kind of coincide with, let's say, like time travel too? Because it's like a dimensional thing, right?
It is. It is. And
So
that's that's what people were trying to do with some of this too is they could put themselves in a specific time and place, which is insane.
there's someone, okay, there's another podcast I listen to where I think they had someone come on who's like a specialist in this, and he talked about his experience trying to do astral projection because
Okay.
there's a way you can actually learn to do it. I don't know if
Yeah,
you ever
yeah, I
thought about
looked
that.
upon looking it up. People say online, I don't know how much it's true, but people say anyone can do it. It's not just psychics and stuff.
Right. So you can eventually achieve a way of doing it, but he talks about how he's trying to go back to a specific time in his life. And I don't know why it made me think of that. So I guess
Huh.
in reality, do I believe in time travel and or possibly going through dimensions? Yeah, anything's possible, right?
Mhm.
I believe it. I think it could be real. It could explain a lot of things like Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Especially with I feel like with our brains, we know so little about our brains.
You remember the movie Limitless?
I don't know if I saw it. Not in a long
I think
time.
it's with, is it Bradley Cooper? The guy that
Okay.
voices Rocket.
Okay, okay, okay.
Him. It's a movie where he takes like a pill and it unlocks 100% of his brain.
Oh, that's crazy. I think
You've
that
never
got
seen that?
no. I don't know if I did.
You should see it. It's honestly a really, really good movie,
Yeah,
and
I
it's a
know
cool
it's a
concept.
classic. I haven't seen it. I got to do it. Oh, you know what we should watch? This is a little off topic, but I really want to watch Interstellar. Have you seen that?
No, it's on Netflix right now, though, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they literally, what do we? I think they literally just brought
What
it
do we?
back to Netflix right now.
um, no, I've always wanted to watch it. Like I heard it's just such a, like a classic good movie, and I fell in love with the piano song they wrote for it. It's like kind of like the theme or whatever. I don't know if you've heard it.
Okay.
It's incredibly
Um,
good and it's really cool to play on piano, so I learned some of it. But I gotta
if
watch the
you
movie.
played it, I'd probably know what you're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
you would know right away.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, that's one of my on the bucket list. Learn the entirety of that song. It's hard, but that's the type of song that like you're in the airport. Uh,
Yeah, and they play it there. You see
someone
like the
goes and plays it
TikToks.
on a piano. That yes, it's literally that
Yeah.
exact like
Okay.
type of song.
Gotcha.
On the bucket
Interesting.
list eventually. Um, all
That'd
right,
be cool. In an
so
airport, that's your bucket list.
oh, I would love to do that. You have to be good though. You got to be confident and good to do that. I could play guitar in an airport or something. I could not do piano yet. I'm not good enough. All right, so this one's a little bit long. So
Mm.
I'm just going to go paragraph by paragraph a little bit cuz I don't want to say too much. We'll kind of chat about it. So, astral projection has piqued the interest of government agencies, particularly in the context of military and intelligence operations. In the 1970s and 80s, the US government began funding research into psychic phenomena, including remote viewing, which is often considered a form of astral projection. The CIA and other military branches were particularly interested in using psychic abilities for espionage, surveillance, and intelligence gathering, believing that individuals who could perform astral projection could potentially see distant locations or gather secret information without being physically present. Of course, we would make this about war, right? This idea was based on the premise that the human consciousness might be capable of transcending the physical limits of the body, and by doing so, gaining access to information in a way that traditional methods could not. Yeah, so that's kind of like the first part there. I think it's crazy. It makes sense. We were at that time we were kind of using everything we had to try and get a upper hand.
I'm just imagining going to the shadow realm to secretly slide through like underneath a door, like a spy movie, just to steal some information. I don't know. I believe the astral
If
projection, but I think that might be too far.
if this happened, we don't know too. This could have happened.
It could, yeah,
You
I
know,
guess
this
it's
could be a
possible.
thing. This could be one of the things like aliens that it's too. If the government knows it's too crazy to tell people that they're able to do it, like if they figured it out, no one would be safe. Like people would abuse it for like money reasons. Like they'd go like put themselves in a stock meeting and then pull out all their you know what I mean? Like if this actually was something that was unlocked for everyone, the world would end. I really think the world would end. Like when privacy is completely gone like that and anyone can do anything from I don't know. It just seems too crazy to me.
That is an interesting perspective, actually. I didn't think about that. Because, yeah, the world would kind of be chaos. Do you think the government actually knows the ability like exists, or do you think it's still like kind of eh, like they never figured it out? What do you think?
With the amount of stuff they keep from us, especially in light of the drone stuff going on right now, which we won't even get on because we could talk for hours on that. I just feel like it's possible that they got intel and did not share it with the world. Obviously, some of these documents were leaked. That's how some of this came out. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Project Stargate, but
Project
that
Stargate.
is the US government program that was testing all this stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of funny. Apparently, it was a very small operation too. It was like I think it was only like 20 people, but they were just testing the limits of the human body with like astral projection and with psychics, and it's just very
Yeah,
interesting.
because I feel like if obviously the astral projection is real, then psychics and people that can see like dead people would also be kind of real because that could just be like an astral projectional form, right? Like a ghost could technically be like a
Yeah,
spirit that's also.
maybe mediums have access to a certain plane where spirits live.
Oh, yeah, that.
It could. I'm
Probably.
sure it's all connected or something.
Have you ever seen the movie Insidious?
I haven't.
Read. This would have been a perfect movie for you to watch before doing this episode.
Is there astral projection?
Oh yeah, like literally the movie's based on that. It's where I got the name Dalton from.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for your
So
son.
the little kid, one of the sons, he astral projects, but a demon comes in and tries to take his body while he's astral projecting.
Oh, that's
So he's like
crazy.
slowly like
That's a
taking the
cool
kid away. Yeah,
concept.
honestly, really really good movie. There's like 5 of them. Last
Oh
ones
wow, I
aren't
didn't know this.
that good,
Okay.
but the first one it's really good. And honestly, maybe you should watch it this weekend if you get bored.
I know. I should check it out.
Yeah, it's a good one. But it makes me think because like if the government's doing these, let's say like trials on people, like they're experimenting with this concept. If they did, do you think they could possibly switch someone's body with someone else's, like move souls?
That's a little out there. I don't know about that.
Because that's like the concept of Insidious, where the demon could take over his body. So I'm wondering like if you
Yep.
could somehow swap.
While they're out of their bodies or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I could see something create like we know so little about the afterlife and where we came from and capabilities of our brain. Like I could see something like being able to somehow get like this has been a thing. I don't know if you've seen so people with near death experiences,
Hmm.
a lot of them explain seeing their body
Yeah, yeah,
and
they explain that,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Which is weird because they'd be dead. But they're like floating above their body, like in the hospital
Yes,
beds or
like
something like
like
that.
they're like dead and outside their body and they can see the doctors operating on them and then they get brought back to life. And there's been like crazy cases where they've explained certain things that the doctors did that they would have had to been alive and being able to see.
How changed your perspective would be after that? Think
Oh,
about
it
that.
is. That's a big thing. Everyone's a lot of things people say online is like you're once you get into that state out of your body, it actually changes your perspective on life because you're less afraid of death.
Hmm.
It's like a thing, which is crazy.
I don't know if I'd be less afraid of death because it doesn't really tell you where like what happens after, except for you're just
Well,
floating
at
there,
least the people, I guess that's fair.
right? I would still be
I
scared.
don't know. I don't know. That's just what people kind of have explained. They're like not afraid of death anymore.
Maybe it's the feeling after you die, like kind of like they say like the dopamine hits and you get like that good
Yeah,
like soothing
that's
feeling.
true.
Maybe it's that.
Dopamine and then what is that?
I don't know.
Like DMT.
Yeah, right.
The, the
'Cause,
DMT. I don't know if that's the actual chemical that releases, but that drug. Yeah, so that's like a drug you can take. Uh, that is what releases into your brain when you die, which is crazy.
yeah, I wonder who thought of that. Huh? Who made that in the lab?
What-
Who's cooking up
Let's take the
DMT?
chemical that goes in your brain when you die and smoke it.
Maybe you experience astral projection.
Huh?
Maybe you experience that when you take DMT.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm an
I'm
advocate for
sure you
that.
do.
All
No,
right,
no.
all right,
Dude, we'll
listeners.
test it.
We're all going to group together January
You
9th.
low,
And we're
low,
going to hit
low.
a
We can't.
sesh. I have an abandoned building
No,
in
no.
Providence we can all hit.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. Wait, Reed,
What?
I need to tell you a story.
Okay, on or off?
Either. So today,
Okay.
my dad was in Lowell today, but it was really cold up
Mm-hmm.
there. So they got called back to, the shop, and he got called in on their job. So he went to Providence. So I was like, oh, like I talked to him, I called him. I was like, hey, like I'm in Providence. He's like, oh, I got a sandwich for you. Come over and grab it. So I go scoot over there. It's an abandoned building. It was a Jewish college, completely abandoned last year. Like everyone's stuff still there. All this like random things people have. And we're like walking around this building. It's huge, it's like 4 stories. And there's this picture. And I gotta call Brandon after and ask him to send a picture of it because I gave it to him. It's literally like this old man, but it looked like a haunted photo. So I gave it to Brandon. So hopefully he'll have some ghostly experiences. And we can tell it in the pod.
Setting up your brother for
I
ghost
I literally
experiences.
kid you not. It was in the weirdest spot too. It wasn't even hanging on the wall anymore. It was like you kind of know how like when walls have like lips in the middle, like they kind of have like a panel almost.
Yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah.
was like on like a little ledge, like a tiny little ledge, just sitting there. And I was like,
That's
I grabbed
crazy.
it. I was like, we're taking this.
Oh my God.
That made me think of that because I was thinking about ghosts and abandoned places.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That was today?
That was today. Yeah, that was my experience today. I should have took
That's
some
crazy you
videos,
didn't tell me
dude.
that. Oh, you should have.
Read, the place was creepy. They had like an attic and it had like a really small door on the top, and someone wrote like
Oh my
"look," and it was like arrows pointing to the door, but I couldn't open the door because the door was locked.
god.
But
Oh,
the key was in the basement. But I was like, that place is. There's just keys everywhere for every door. We could
really?
go there right now and walk right in.
That's
I
insane.
can't
What
believe
the
that.
hell?
Well, I probably gave too much information. People can probably find it out, but crazy, right?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I wish I took videos. I should have sent you some today. I totally forgot. All right, Reed, bring us back to wherever you want, my man. I'm sorry for going off the top on that one.
That is okay. All right, let me talk about the Soviets.
Oh, Mother Russia. Can you do an accent?
No.
Oh, wait, give me a sentence. I'll try to do it real quick.
Oh god. Uh um
Let me get my
say
to my
gotta
Russian
talk about the
accent.
launch of the Sputnik.
We have to talk about the launch of the Sputnik. Huh?
That was pretty good.
Was that bad?
That was pretty good. Do you know what Sputnik is?
Astronaut stuff, right?
Yes, that is the first. I
The
believe
first
that is the
rocket?
first satellite to ever be.
Oh, satellite.
I think Sputnik's the first satellite to ever be launched into the space,
Yes, yes, yes.
into our
The race to
orbit.
space.
The space race. Sputnik 1, maybe, or just Sputnik, one of those. All right. The Soviets, aware of U.S. interest in the science, launched their own programs during the Cold War to explore similar capabilities. Soviet researchers conducted extensive studies into psychic abilities, particularly remote viewing, with the goal of gaining a strategic edge over the US. The KGB and other intelligence agencies reportedly invested significant resources into developing techniques for utilizing psychic operatives. There are even claims that the Soviets had success in training individuals to project their consciousness into restricted areas or to influence physical objects at a distance. While much of the information about these Soviet programs remain classified or speculative, it's clear that both superpowers were actively competing in the realm of psychic research, driven by the belief that astral projection and other psychic abilities could offer a new dimension of intelligence gathering. What do you think about the Soviets being able to do it? I mean, there are a lot more claims that the Soviets were able to do things like this, but at the same time, I feel like the US is way, 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 way more secret about it. So I bet you if they did, then the US figured it out too.
Yeah. I think my number one problem with that is it's still during that time where it's like, oh, here's this information. We're better than you kind of scenario.
That
So
is also true.
I just feel like they would say, hey, oh, we found this, or like, we can send people over to you guys, even though they
Mhm.
probably can't.
That's very true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's kind of my only issue with that. Otherwise, I feel like, I mean, they probably both have evidence that it's possible, and they probably could both do it, but
Yeah, I feel like if one did it, the other would, with the amount of resources and time they're putting into this, and like the scientists.
right.
The scientists that are actually running this are probably, I'm sure their names are there. I'm sure they're higher up scientists being able to do this stuff.
Oh yeah, of
Um,
course.
so I wanted to relate this more to aliens, so I put a little bit kind of about how it's relating to that stuff. So in recent years, there's been a growing interest in the idea that astral projection might play a role in encountering extraterrestrial beings or accessing information about the existence of aliens. Some individuals who practice astral projection report report encounters with non-human entities or describe journeys to distant planets or star systems. These experiences are often interpreted as a form of interdimensional travel, where practitioners believe they are able to access other realms where alien civilizations might reside. Proponents of this theory suggest that astral projection could allow people to connect with higher dimensional beings, including extraterrestrials, and that these encounters may be beyond the capabilities of physical senses or traditional scientific methods. There are also those who believe that astral projection could be a means of tracking or discovering extraterrestrial life. This idea is rooted in the belief that consciousness can transcend time and space, reaching beyond the limits of our physical world. Some claim that remote viewing, a practice closely related to astral projection, has been used by certain groups to detect alien activity or even investigate UFO sightings. While mainstream science has yet to validate these claims, the idea persists in certain spiritual and metaphysical circles. According to some proponents, astral projection could serve as a tool for tuning in to the frequency of alien communication or accessing hidden knowledge about extraterrestrial beings, potentially offering new insights into the ongoing debate over the reality of UFOs and alien life. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, he got through it though. He survived. All right, here's my beef with this, my problem.
Okay, what do you got?
If you can astral project,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think the limit would be? Because they're talking about seeing, let's say, extraterrestrials. Could you just project anywhere, ever, like in the galaxy? You could just shoot yourself all the way, I don't know, a couple Milky Way galaxies away.
I don't know. See, I don't know how it works. Like, the other question is, does this so in some of the things I talked about, people went to like made up worlds too. Like things they thought of and they projected themselves there, so they felt like they're there outside their body
Sounds like
even though they
drugs.
made the world up. So, right, doesn't this sound like so some
I
of
don't
it is
know.
very interesting from that aspect of it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think the made up lands and when you start swapping dimensions and stuff, I don't know. It gets a little too
Yeah,
crazy
because
almost.
that's why a lot of people think it's just a lucid dream, like you're just thinking up
Right, you're making it
all this
up.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
But there are cases, I wish I got some specifics, I did not. I should have prepared a little bit more. But there are literally cases like what I was saying that people got outside of their bodies during like a surgery or like a death on and got back in obviously like cuz they were revived
Right.
and they've seen things that are impossible or hurt like you know what I mean? It's just impossible
Okay, so I can
for them to know.
believe those people going through like let's say the surgeries or the deaths and they come back. I can believe that. My
Okay.
problem is though when they start making up extension like not making up, let's not say that. When they start talking about things they saw that are a little bit more out there, I think it could just be like let's say neurons firing in the brain where like I said, it's kind of like a dream, like they're making it up, but they don't think it's made up because it feels real. I can believe most of this, but at a certain point, I'm like,
If the government did not figure it out
right.
and this is all true that they didn't, that would be the only thing that makes sense. These people believe that they saw this in this spot. They were able to astral project themselves, which is pretty much lucid dream, uh, to this location in their brain, but it's not actually real.
Yeah, I just think even if like let's say like an everyday person figured out how to do it, the amount of power you could have just by being able to go into certain
Yeah,
spots and do certain things, I don't know. It's kind of too much to believe.
it is. I think, at least for an everyday person,
Right.
do I think there's people that were born with gifts just like psychics and mediums? Yes. Do I think potentially that could be a case? I think so. I think there are potentially people on the planet that have the ability to do that
You know what I think
in
it could
that
be? It
realm of whatever. What do you got?
could be similar to Stranger Things with the Upside Down. Maybe it's
Okay,
just a
where it's
singular realm, but it's like a parallel realm. So like spirits, like you can see the spirits in this realm.
okay.
So like that's where you project to. So it's kind of like Insidious where they project into I think it's called like the further and it's where like the
Mhm.
spirits are. It's a spirit like realm. But this honestly kind of goes hand in
Okay.
hand because if you think about it, well, I guess that would make the most sense because then I don't know, I lost where I was going with that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, the other thing to think about too is we know so little about the galaxy and the universe that all these things that people might think are other dimensions could
Like
be
other
somewhere
planets,
else in the
maybe I guess too.
universe.
Yeah, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of potential with that.
Do you think? What do you think about simulation
Like
theory? Just
you're talking about
curious.
Matrix stuff.
Sure, just like that. We're like in
You know,
a
I've thought
simulation
about
of some
this.
sort.
I don't know. It's just my problem is when I start thinking about the scale, right? Because there's so many things that are being simulated right now around us. This is gonna get really weird and get kind of odd. But think about it. I mean, you got like ants, you got squirrels, you got capybaras, you got people, you have all these different things that are just happening all the time that's simulated. I don't know. I just think soul wise,
What if they're not
here's my
happening
problem.
when no one's looking at them?
Souls, Reed. Souls are my problem. The fact that I can see out of my eyes
Okay.
and you can see out of your eyes, and we have our own lives.
Okay, but what about AI right now? There's literally AI in games that have their own personalities and souls and memories and do whatever
Okay,
they
we're
want.
now talking about Sword Art Online. We've now come full
Oh,
circle. Yes, because
really?
literally in that anime, they make a realm where people live, and it's literally a simulator, and they generate no, but they
No, 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 no,
generate
no, no, no.
souls.
No, but you.
Like the
Oh, okay,
characters in
okay.
the
Because I was
game.
gonna say, I remember the beginning of that show. You showed me that in college or whatever. Uh, they go into like a VR headset. That's different.
Yeah, no. Season 3 is they make a world in a game, and the NPCs start generating souls.
Generating souls, as in they have
They
souls.
yeah they basically have souls, and they're being generated as they live their lives.
That's what I'm saying. We're doing that right now with AI in gaming, though. That's happening.
I know, which is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Simulation theory, I could see it, right? It's always a
Yeah.
possibility. I truly don't want to think about it too much because it's just like, why are we living, kind of thing.
I feel. Yeah. I feel like we're. I feel like we are 10 years,
hmm
if not 5, away from being able to create an intricate world like ours with AI,
If
with beings like us.
we can make a headset that I can put on where I can go live in this other
No,
world.
no, we're talking about different things. I'm talking
No, I
about
know.
AI world that we just watch. They don't know we exist. They're just made up of code. They make their own decisions.
It's the Truman Show.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot of theories that say we have to be simulation. That's the only way.
I just feel like we'd see more glitches, right?
No, but what if it's such a good system? Like you're saying, with all these beings at all times doing all these things,
Got a lot of RAM.
a lot of RAM. Okay, so the last thing I have here is sort of like the recent news
Okay, I'm
that kind
excited.
of brought me to this subject.
ABC News.
ABC News. No. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah.
It's actually from an older time, an older date
All right, we're going back in time.
in the government, but it kind of resurfaced now. A recently resurfaced declassified CIA document reveals a startling claim about the US government's use of astral projection to explore Mars, dating back to 1984. The document, titled Mars Exploration, May 22nd, 1984, suggests that a subject's consciousness was sent to Mars through a technique known as astral projection, where the mind is believed to leave the body and travel to distant locations. This experiment was part of Project Stargate, a covert U.S. Army program from the Cold War era, which sought to harness paranormal abilities such as telepathy and remote viewing for intelligence purposes. According to the report, the subject observed ancient structures on Mars, including a pyramid, a large road, and a monument resembling those of Egypt, as well as very tall, thin people who seemed to be a part of a dying civilization. The subject described their environment as deteriorating, with the inhabitants desperately seeking survival on a planet doomed to collapse. The document goes further to describe the Martian civilization as struggling to escape their deteriorating world, with the subject reporting a very overwhelming input of environmental corruption. The inhabitants were depicted as preparing to leave Mars aboard a large boat, heading towards another volatile planet with active volcanoes and strange vegetation, offering little hope of survival. While the experiment, conducted using psychic methods like binaural beats and hemisync audio to enhance consciousness, remained controversial, the document's resurfacing has reignited interest in the government's secret Cold War projects. Despite the experiment's mysterious and speculative nature, The report highlights the government's long-standing interest in unconventional methods for intelligence gathering, blending science fiction with possible reality. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I don't know how much I believe it, but it kind of makes sense. I didn't really look up what those meant, but it was in the article I was reading. Binaural beats and hemisync audio.
It's gotta be lo-fi beats.
No, it's
It's
definitely like,
lo-fi study,
I bet
bro.
you it's like tones, like certain tones that they like play.
You probably, yeah, you're
You know what I'm
probably
talking
right.
about?
Yeah, it's gotta be some sort of tonal thing rather than trap
Yeah, I don't
hats
think it's
and
actually music.
drums.
No.
Okay, I was listening to that, and then as soon as you got to the boat part, that's where I was like, yeah, nah, I don't believe it. No
You don't
shot.
believe it.
No, dude, come on. What, a boat?
So apparently in the articles and the things, this person projected themselves on Mars a million years
In the past?
BC.
Okay. This is where I was gonna ask next. Was that actually when the time frame was when they went back? Okay.
2004. No.
Got the
No,
SS
so
yacht up there.
yeah, but like that could have just been the type of ship that they had at the time or whatever. So what's very interesting to me, why this is an actual CIA document that is released.
Yeah, why would they release this?
Doesn't mean it's real. Huh?
Why would they release this?
I don't know. It doesn't make it real. Like obviously this person probably said all this stuff, but
Right.
that doesn't mean that's the crazy thing about astral projection is people can say whatever they want. Like you're trusting one person. Only one person can experience this.
You know how I feel about experiencing things alone.
So that's what's a little weird. Same thing as like the only way to prove this is to do what they were trying, which is can you astral project yourself across the room and read this paper that you have no idea what's on it? And I don't think they could prove that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like if you're in astral projection form, can you move things?
I don't
Like, can you interact
think
with
so.
things?
I mean, they did say that was what the Soviets claimed is they were able to like influence objects.
So that's oh my god, can you imagine if that explains like all the poltergeist activity?
All the ghost stuff.
Yeah.
Someone's just in their living room
Yeah, just walk
with a
around.
beer, just astral projecting into like a haunted house and just like throwing a brick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, like seriously, it could be, right?
No, I mean it could be if this is a thing. I feel like we would know though. I mean, not from the government, but like
Somebody would have figured it
there's
out by now.
enough people that go crazy doing this stuff and looking into this themselves. I feel like it would be out unless
Yeah.
they just keep it for themselves and then they're just all rich because they're betting on things that they're astral projecting. You know what I mean? Astral project
I don't know.
at the end of this football game. Astral project, see what the exact score is, and you go bet on it. Rich, instantly rich.
I wonder if that'd have like a butterfly effect too, though.
It could.
Or you're just like a ghost, so it doesn't really matter.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like you're like a.
It could. It could. The other thing is, it could be just like obviously you would have to be confident in astral projection to
True.
actually do bet on it.
Are you gonna try it, Reed?
If anything, I will try to lucid dream. I don't think I will try to astral project just because it kind of freaks me out a little bit too. Like, what if I saw something I can't unsee?
Oh, you saw like my death.
Huh?
You saw my
Oh, I
death
know,
or
right?
something.
Like something like crazy like that? No, I don't think that would happen.
That'd be
I
pretty
mean, you
scarring.
never know. I mean, more like, what if I do find out something about aliens? Or like,
Well, I would love that. Are you kidding
I have
me?
a vision of like the future of like in 5 years, like getting invaded, and then it just messes me up forever.
Well,
You know what I
wouldn't buy a
mean?
house then. You'd be good.
I know, but no, I don't know. I guess I'm overthinking that because if it was that easy, if I could just try to do it and just do it, like
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
know it's very
It
hard.
would have
I
been
know it's
done.
very hard. I've from the one person that said it on a podcast. They said it was very hard.
It is crazy that people claim anyone can do it though, which is insane.
Yeah, can you imagine accidentally doing this?
You know, some people claim it happened in their sleep,
Yeah,
which I
that's
think is
weird.
just lucid dreaming.
Probably.
Is that
Yeah.
that happened to you?
Yeah, but
Like you actually had a lucid
I
dream?
knew I was dreaming though. Like I didn't feel like I was out of my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. What if in your lucid dream you wanted to be out of your body and on Earth?
Oh, you're saying I could have like switched it? Oh, maybe. I don't know.
You could have done that. I mean, lucid dreaming, apparently you could do anything you want. Just anything.
My fear with that
As
though,
long as you don't wake yourself up.
if I tried that, would I induce like sleep paralysis? You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
Though.
sleep paralysis is a very different thing. What do you mean? Like you go into a coma, imagine?
No, not like that. I meant like if you go from like your lucid dream to like, let's say you try to astral project,
Oh.
could you go in a state where your mind is active but your body's still sleeping, and then you're
Hmm.
stuck in like
You
the sleep
could, because
paralysis?
that's all sleep paralysis is your mind wakes up but your body doesn't. So
Right.
that's possible you could do that. Which it is not the end of the world. Like that's not like
No, it's game
anything
over.
terrible. It just sucks for like a minute and a half. It just sucks. And then you either wake up or fall back asleep. One of the two. I feel like I didn't get your actual opinion.
What do you mean by actual opinion? What's your
Like
question here?
so Mars.
Okay.
They claim seeing Mars
Mhm.
with Egyptian, this was a million years ago, with Egyptian like structures on it in
Okay.
pyramids. We do not we don't have, we're not going to get too deep into this, but we do not have an explanation for the pyramids. We don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what like I think aliens helped with the pyramids. I don't know how you feel, but it's such a complex, perfect structure without power tools, without anything. It's possible, but it's crazy if that's real. Do you know what I mean?
If we're gonna talk about the pyramids, aliens is a good one, of course. I think I saw a
Mm-hmm.
theory recently that was talking about giants too.
Ooh, I did see that there might be. We know so little about the ocean. There might be an underground, under the ocean, like kind of like structures that were for giants. I did see that.
Which would make sense in those pyramids being made.
Mm-hmm.
But there were aliens in like the Egyptian hieroglyphics,
That's what
supposedly.
I'm saying. And not just Egyptian. All over the world.
Yeah.
Everyone's history has like bird creatures and like flying things. That's too big to be a coincidence, right?
Okay, aliens real, confirmed.
Aliens real,
Mars
100%.
though, having like structures on it and a road. Why would they have a road? Is it made? Is it?
Didn't something come out that the Mars land and stuff like could have potentially been hit by nukes?
Oh, you mean like the actual? I don't know.
Yeah, like the whole planet used to be habitable and stuff, but now it's like all like nuked and just like covered.
If that were true, it would go against what the person saw Mars saying that it was like deteriorating. Because why would they nuke it if they left?
Well, they saw one little area.
Oh,
They didn't see the entire world. Imagine it was deteriorating cuz they were in a war.
okay. I guess it's very possible. I don't know. I just think
I don't know.
seeing a road and knowing it's a road is kind of weird. Like, was it pavement? What
Well, I
kind of
feel like you
road?
know a road if you see a road, dude.
Yeah.
It could be a dirt road, it could be just like
Well,
a
but here's
path.
my thing. If they're taking a ship to leave, don't they just have like flying cars? Why would they need a road?
Don't we have airplanes and cars?
Well, not flying cars.
But we have flying airplanes.
You know, you got me. Got me good. I forgot about airplanes.
You forgot about
Forgot about
airplanes. What
airplanes.
do you mean?
Well,
Uh,
I was just
no,
saying
I
because they're
mean I think
so
it's
far ahead.
I'm not suggesting this is exactly correct. I don't know if I believe astral projection 100%. I don't know if I believe this because if you think about it, right? The odds that 1 million years ago, 1 million, a number of years we cannot even think about. The small percentage we will even be alive of 1 million years is crazy. How is there something that could be called a boat? How is there something that can be called a pyramid? And how are there tall looking people? I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but this to me sounds like some sort of lucidness, like lucid dream, right? Because if you think about it, everything you see in your life combined is your creative process.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot think of something that is not a combination of other things you've seen. It's just not possible.
That's a good point,
So
right?
it would only make sense that this person saw Egyptian like structures on Mars. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit less believable to me, but I really would like to believe it. I really would love if that was true because that would make pyramids be connected to aliens 100%. And also, Mars was habited at one point.
Month from now, news comes out. Pyramid on Mars.
It's just under the. I mean,
Imagine.
Elon's bringing us to Mars eventually. He's working on it. So I feel like that's going to be crazy because we're going to actually be there. There are no structures that are visible right now,
But there could be.
but there could be.
All right, Reed, where do you rate this in the spooky stuff? No, we don't have to rate it. I think it's honestly just without rating, it's good.
Yeah, it's not really. I ruined the podcast, dude. I ruined it.
No, I really like this episode. I think overall
Yeah,
the
that was
structure's
fun.
nice.
Yeah, it was just more like informational.
Just
I like a lot of the Soviet stuff, like the Soviet
True.
and U.S. like war stuff. That was cool, but I wanted to definitely end on alien stuff because that's like the big thing is kind of that got me into it was
Okay, I
the
know how
possibility of
I know how we can do
aliens
this,
on
Reed.
Mars. What do you got?
Give me your overall percentage of how
Of
real
believability?
you think astral projection is.
Oh, that's a tough. I'll give it. I'll give it a 10%.
Really? Okay.
I will give it a 1 out of 10 that it is a real thing. And I'm not talking out of body experience from a near death.
Right, not the
I'm
surgery one. You're talking
solely
about the
talking someone trying to astral project or the government trying to induce it and astral project for information, all that stuff. I think 10% that it's real. There's not enough evidence for me to go higher than that, and I think I'm still giving it a good, of percentage, you know.
Yeah, I
How
think
about you?
probably 5%.
5?
Yeah, I just think a little too far fetched with the Mars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boat swing and a miss on that one.
Yeah, both.
Russia releasing stuff and saying they have people that can go across to steal more information. Don't find that believable because just the time frame itself, like the Cold
Yeah.
War, it's just like that's a heightened time. So I don't really
Mm-hmm.
find that real. And then I think people can do it. I just think it's different than the way they described it in these cases with the Soviet Union. I think people
That makes
could
sense.
leave their body when they're dreaming, but it could be a dream.
Yeah, it could be all your brain. It is really cool though. I think it's really cool that the government put time into it and tried because obviously like there were some people that like lucid dreamed and things and saw things in the past and that's the only reason they thought it was real, right? It's not like this was just an idea. Let's try and unlock their brain. No, like things happened that made them do it. I think it's really cool that they spent years on like trying all this stuff though, because it
It is
really
really
does
cool.
prove it, whether they tell us the truth or not.
Yeah, it is actually wild they went and tried it. I think it is a funny time like period though to try something like that. Like it makes sense. You're
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
like high time, let's say.
Yep.
So it fits perfectly. But yeah, I think overall, astral projection. This is a cool episode. I like this.
I have a couple more. I have a couple more big questions that I'm gonna answer.
Okay, yeah. Hey, go
Maybe
for
not
it.
as much info. Oh no, I mean like other episodes.
Oh, write
Um.
them down.
Oh yeah, I got them written down. I don't know if I'll do one every time because kind of messes up our scale and stuff. But I don't know. I had fun. I had fun looking into this and kind of I learned a lot about the war and stuff and how we kind of the government did that stuff. I do want to look at that CIA document more.
You should.
It's
Yeah.
really cool that it's just like publicly released and just out there now. I want to read more on it because there's so much info in it.
Did
The
you,
wild thing.
the listener, enjoy?
Did you enjoy?
And if you did, rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Anything else to say before we close? I don't think we have anything to shout out, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, as always, check out our Instagram. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a follow. Chasing Spirits with a Z.
With a Z.com.
.com.
And we'll see you on the next episode, Chasing the Spirits that Haunt Our World. That's just me
Dalton
flailing
just like,
around.
Daddy, are you okay? Just rolling around on the kitchen floor.